Delhi's heat wave is no longer just about scorching afternoons. Doctors are now warning that the real danger may actually begin after sunset. Because even when the sun goes down, the heat is not leaving the city, and according to experts, these unusually hot nights could silently increase the risk of dehydration, heat stroke, and even heart attacks. Across Delhi, residents are complaining that nights are no longer offering relief, fans are running, air conditioners are on, but homes still feel suffocating. Weather experts call this phenomena warm nights, when minimum temperature remains unusually high even after sunset because heat gets trapped inside densely built urban areas. And doctors say this is becoming a major health threat. According to doctors at AIIMS, the human body is biologically designed to cool down during sleep. At night, the body's core temperature naturally drops, helping organs recover from daytime stress and triggering deep restorative sleep. But when temperatures remain excessively high overnight, that recovery process gets disrupted. Doctors describe this as a cumulative heat burden, meaning the body stays under continuous stress for days because it never gets a chance to cool down properly. The first impact is usually disturbed sleep. People wake up repeatedly during the night, struggle to sleep deeply, wake up exhausted the next morning. But the bigger danger is what happens inside the body while we are asleep. Even at night, the body continues sweating in an attempt to cool itself. That causes continuous loss of water and essential electrolytes like sodium and potassium. And many people wake up already dehydrated without realizing it. Doctors say symptoms can include dizziness, headaches, muscle cramps, weakness, and severe fatigue. But the most alarming impact may be on the heart. The release, the imperative to release excess heat, the body pushes more blood towards the skin, surface, and that forces the heart to work harder, even during sleep. Doctors warn that resting heart rates can rise significantly during extreme heat, blood pressure can fluctuate, and for people already suffering from hypertension, diabetes, kidney disease, or heart problems, the risk of irregular heartbeat, heart failure, and heart attacks can increase sharply. Children and elderly are considered especially vulnerable because their bodies are less efficient at regulating temperature. I'm joined by Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Secretary, Urban Development, Government of India, and Kartiki Negi, Lead Climate Impact and Science from Climate Trends. And subsequently, I'll be joined by Dr. Sanjeev Gera, Director and Head Interventional Cardiology, Fortis Hospital. But let me straight away go to Dr. Sudhir Krishna. Sir, we'll come back to the issue of, getting heart distress. But this is also being caused by cities becoming heat islands. Didn't we plan for it, sir?
Well, it's a very important subject, and I'm happy you have taken it up. And I think urban planning is a crucial requirement for tackling the challenge of climate change, which is sometimes heavy flooding, heavy rains, and at times huge high temperature, which is not subsiding. So I think what we require is a good planning where there is a lot of emphasis on water bodies on one hand and green urban greens also. You see, water bodies, we find the water bodies are missing, and we are encroaching on all the lands which were covered by green and water bodies with
Absolutely.
construction. So that is raising the temperature also and not allowing it to cool down. The concrete structures, they absorb the heat, and when the sun is down, then they start releasing the heat, and therefore nights will also remain hot. So it is high time that under the URDPFI guidelines of the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, they have mandated that cities must have around 17 to 18% of area as green area, whereas it is single digit in most cities. Delhi we say is pretty green, but it is not everywhere. It is the slum areas are not green, and 40 or 50% of Delhi lives in slums. So therefore, greening the areas, water bodies, these are what nature has given. That we have to nurture, and side by side we have to enhance also the water bodies. What you showed just now on in Mecca, when there is a water spray jet is there, and a mist, all those things can be created in the localized areas in the cities also. So this is as far as the urban planning is concerned. And quickly I will go to urban transportation also. You see, urban transportation has to be on mass transportation based system. We have to discourage people or facilitate people to migrate from personalized vehicles to public transportation system through more buses, more first and last mile connectivity through mini buses and so on, and then buses and metro rail systems, etc. So people should not be exposed to sun. That is the transportation part. And the roads avenues must be planted covered with the green shades on both sides, thick foliage greenery, small small forest of half acre, 1 acre here and there, like that, sprinkling. And
Okay.
last point I would say for the while is that, building design also, the building design and maintenance of buildings, put light color in the building, not
Okay.
dark, because dark colors absorb
Okay.
the heat or sunlight. So like these, many things we can do in urban planning and urban management, which will make a lot of difference in the challenge, meeting the challenge of heat phenomenon in the
Okay.
cities.
Kartiki, but in all this, the most vulnerable people are the poor. The most
Yes.
vulnerable are the poor. They don't have ACs. Millions won't even have fans. And if the night temperature is going more than 33, 34, then the wet bulb effect comes into play. And that's very dangerous for your body.
Yes, so India is already in a tropical zone, and that really increases the impact of wet bulb temperatures. If night temperatures continue to be like that, then we will have some dangerous impact on the people who are most vulnerable. First, they do not have access to cooling mechanism. As Sir said, that 40 to 50% lives in slum areas. They are under the tin sheds. It actually becomes a heat chamber for them. Their own home become heat chamber for them. There is no way that heat is escaping out. So they don't you don't realize, but that has some serious health concerns. It's not, somebody would feel fatigue, somebody would feel heat stroke, somebody would feel, but there can be, it's not just the physical impacts, there could be mental impacts of it as well. So we need to see, there has already been a rise of around 0.21 degrees Celsius between 2010 to 2024 in the nighttime temperatures, and they are increasing. It is increasing at the rate of urbanization is increasing, and with this urbanization increasing, we are experiencing more amount of.
My issue is that there is no conversation. लोगों को लगता है कि लू से बच जाएंगे तो बच जाएंगे. But the entire Dr. Sanjeev Gera is with us. So can you just break it down for our viewers why high night temperature can be dangerous for your body? How is it dangerous for your body? And what can be done about it?
So basically, when we talk about, when there is too much of heat, like these days we are battling very high nights, high heat at nights. So what happens? The cooling mechanism is basically through radiation. So whenever there is very high heat, the temperature, the high temperature actually it gets dissipated through our skin. The blood vessels dilate. So at that particular moment when the blood vessels are dilating, we have much wider area to get the heat radiated outside to the environment. But when your temperature, the outside temperature goes above 24 degrees centigrades, or every 2 degrees centigrade rise in temperature actually causes our heart to work around 30% more harder. So there is more stress on the heart, around 30 to 40% more stress on the heart. So our heart rate goes up, the BP goes down, and when there is humidity also, and if especially you are sweating, there is a loss of electrolytes. So already those patients who are already on heart medicines to lower BP, to lower heart rates, like heart failure patients, or those who have got blockages in arteries, in the leg arteries, so they won't be able to actually cope up with this stress. And that is why there is loss of heart rate variability, fall in BP, arrhythmias, rhythm disorders, then heart attacks sometimes. So that is how actually it is very dangerous to our body, because it is actually heart which is working hard during higher temperatures.
So, do you think that if high temperatures with humidity is more dangerous rather than just
Yes.
high dry temperature?
No, no. I mean, higher temperatures with humidity, it is more dangerous because then you are sweating, and especially when humidity goes above 75, then it is more dangerous. And there is
Why?
loss of
Can you just break it down for our
potassium.
viewers? Why?
Yeah. So there is electrolyte loss. You lose a lot of water. You become dehydrated. Then there is loss of potassium, loss of magnesium, other important minerals, which can actually cause disbalance in your every electrolyte channel mechanism. So that can cause rhythm disorders, low BP, and especially when you are not able to sleep, then a lot of rhythm disturbances in heart attacks, heart failure. So many things can happen. And anyone who has already got a heart disease in hot and humid weather, he is more prone for all these disturbances.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Krishna, there are things which are under control and there are things which are not under our control. For example, climate change in long run is very difficult to control because entire other countries are involved. But what can we do within India in terms of building cities which can be body friendly, poor friendly? What can be done?
Straight away, without much cost, a lot of increase in the green patches can be done. It won't cost much. The benefits will be far, far more because trees not only trap heat, they also trap dust also. Trees are great, and they encourage precipitation of water also. So therefore, I think, but only the species is very important. Normally, if you see in the cities, very light species are there, but not much of foliage. I think there's some rush to show that area is green in on paper. I think a high time it is to make the cities really green. Both sides of the avenues, streets, they must be put with dense green, and also as a park, etc. Parks don't have much of green foliage, only they are having lawn grass, and then it has got some flowers, generally speaking. So there should be thick, some part of the park should be having thick green patches. It should be norm. I mean, earlier we used to have a forestation drive, national level. Now it is being done in a very sporadic manner here and there. I think it should be a national mission to make cities green. Urban greenery should be a national mission, and citizens should also be involved. That is one side, I would say. And second thing is these water bodies, flowing water, streams, they have all vanished. Hardly any city has got. Even Hyderabad, Musi River, or even Mithi River in Mumbai, all rivers are vanishing. And we are paying price because river is not just the river. There were tributaries also, nalas here and there, which we call nala, it is tributary only. So these things, and they add to the beauty of the city. They reduce the temperature also. They make the life much better. So I think these are the small things which don't cost much. Only vision
But
and regulation.
I was reading an article in Reuters, Kartiki, sir, and it says that this is a super El Nino in making. And they were comparing the super El Nino to what was witnessed in 1877, which led to the great famine in the subcontinent. We are going to have such a dry time, and then how are we going to cope with it?
We
So
have to, it is not impossible. I think nature has given some challenge, but human being has the capacity to meet that challenge. So I think it is worthwhile. And when we go to slum areas, there we can't be doing much of greening because it is possible to some, but they are already in a haphazard stage of development. And so there more shelters are required, heat shelters where people can, and some,
Okay,
ORS, free ORS distribution kind of thing where
okay.
outdoor workers, the workers who are street vendors or construction workers, their life is really under serious challenge because they cannot stop working. Every day is their earning day for them. So
Okay.
a lot of
So
attention
let
has
me
to
take
be
a quick
paid.
comment from Kartiki. Quick comment from you, Kartiki.
So the quickly is when it's an El Nino year. So El Nino is known for temporarily contributing to the global warming,
Yes.
and this is going to be a very strong El Nino year. So we would see temperatures, and in this case, only the cooling mechanisms have to be increased. As I said, that people living in, we need to come out with some of the health assistance to them. Not just for the daytime, also need to come out with different solutions on which are helpful to them even in the night, especially for the vulnerable ones, for the slum people. They live in a very small area and it is divided by lot many people, but we have to come out with some of the health strategies that could help them out. They should be in better access of health amenities. If they're feeling so, then there should be more health centers. There should be more watering around, cooling, some cool roofs. Something has to be introduced like this. Right now, India is only struggling where we are not able to put up health centers in the daytime where outdoors workers suffer a lot. There are some places, there are some cities who have taken out some, using some solar panels, creating some small shelters for them where they can go out and take some rest during
Okay.
the daytime. But that similar strategy has also now should also be taken out for the nighttime problems also. It is definitely adding to our worries. It is definitely going to add
How
more
will
work.
you do that? Look at the load shedding which is taking place in Uttar Pradesh. I stay in Noida. How will you do that? It's such a complicated thing. But let me again take this question to Dr. Gera. Dr. Gera, what is one supposed to do to beat this? Wet
So,
towels, sir?
yeah. So the best thing is that you should avoid going outside during higher temperatures, especially before 7 p.m. You should not walk. You should not actually lift weights. Avoid dehydration. Take lots of clean water, clear liquids, especially coconut water, buttermilk, lemon water, and take enough salt. And
But
those
how
heart
do you
patients
beat
who are
this night
already
thing? How do you beat this night temperature?
no, you basically, if you have AC, then you have to keep your room temperature between 24, 25, and better is to keep between 23 to 25. But those who have not got ACs, because the fans actually they blow dry air, that could be more dangerous. So it is better that you keep wet towels, take frequent showers, and wear light clothes, and have enough of water, and that is how actually we can manage beat this heat. But the best thing is that if you don't have AC, so it is better that you actually before sleep you should have 1 or 2 showers with cold water, take enough of cold water, and keep yourself hydrated. Avoid exercising too much and eat light. You should not eat heavy, because once you eat heavy meal, and especially dinner, then what happens, the heart has to pump more blood to your intestines, and it will not be able to dissipate heat. That will actually make things worse. So these are the few clues or points which we can actually
And
beat the heat.
drinking water, is that helpful? Not everyone is
Yeah,
going to have
definitely.
iced water. Not everyone has
Yeah.
that luxury. Poor people.
No, no, it's not that very costly actually these days. Ice water is available, but yes, good, clear, thin liquids actually. It should not be hot at least,
Okay.
because it should be a bit lower than our body temperature. The water.
Okay.
So that's how you can manage it. But those who have got heart failure condition already on urine producing medicine, they should not drink that much of water. So you have to consult your cardiologist. If heart rate is going beyond 120, BP is falling below 100, better to go to your physician and cardiologist and take
Okay.
a consultation that how much to drink and what to
Okay.
drink.
Okay.